Hello, hello, and welcome back to Two Chicks in a Horror Flick. I'm Tawny Ray,
And I'm Felicia Connor.
and we are keeping October rolling, our Flick or Treat October, with the movie Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
So I am pumped. What are you drinking?
Oh, what I'm drinking, I usually show you, and Tawny and I were literally just talking about this. Why the martini glass? Why? It is such a good drink, and it is so precarious. Well, okay, first of all, everyone's going to be like, yeah, because you filled it up so much. But still, even so, if you go to a bar and get a martini or a Cosmo, it's still in that precarious glass. It's not, but I did fill it up. So I'm drinking a dirty martini. I have 6 blue cheese stuffed olives.
Ooh, nice. So just to get you through. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. I got some whiskey going on.
Nice.
A little bit of whiskey, so I'm excited.
What whiskey? I think like we talk about that a lot. I had an old fashioned the other night with Buffalo Trace is what I used.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that next time that we go get another bottle. I'm still drinking that Larceny, that 92 proof.
Nice.
It is strong. I'm gonna make sure the next one isn't that strong. It's not bad, but it is very.
May I ask, how do you make sure whiskey on the rocks is not strong?
That's a good question. I mean, but there is a significant difference between the 80 proof shit that I got last time and the 92 proof shit that we got this time. Even the color is it's dark. It's I don't know.
I gotcha. You mean as far as the whiskey brand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to show you what I'm wearing because I was very, very excited for this shirt to come. All right?
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Oh my god. I love that. Killing it.
Yes, for those on listening, it's a beautiful picture of my favorite man, Michael Myers, and it says killing it since 1978. I saw this and I wanted it, and it was like one of those shirts that shipped longer. Usually I'm just a Prime girl. Like I need to see that it's coming in a couple of days. But this one I'm like, okay, I'll wait. I want it.
Yes. That's awesome. I love that. I need some more shirts because I only had one, and now you've upped me on shirts, and so I need to even it out.
One more coming, so now I have 4.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you about the other ones. You already saw the camp one from Jason, and this one, and then there's 2 more, and I think I'm going to do every single episode this month. Either a horror or Halloween, not Halloween Michael Myers, but Halloween holiday-inspired shirt.
Ooh, cute. I love that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try to do that too, but I honestly don't have very many.
But you know what? I saw your sweater today, and I'm like, well, maybe I should do or a liquor-inspired shirt. I love your sweater.
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine says Beer Breakfast of Champions.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Maybe I need some silly... is that called slapstick? I don't know. Funny little shirts like that. I love that. That's
Thanks.
So cute. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I like that you're keeping it a secret and that I'll see them as we record. So
yes.
I'm
I know you are just like, oh my God, I can't wait.
I am.
Okay.
I am. And I bet they're just gonna get better and better. I'm pumped about it.
Oh, I hope. Oh shit! I shouldn't wear this one because this one's my favorite.
That's okay. The other ones will be great too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump right in here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Sleepy Hollow was made in 1999. The synopsis is Ichabod Crane is sent to Sleepy Hollow to investigate the decapitations of 3 people, with the culprit being the legendary apparition, the Headless Horseman. Director of this is Tim Burton, of course, and the stars. Top 2 are Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. There are a shit ton of famous people in this movie, so I was like, listen, I'm just gonna do the top 2. I'm not gonna list the rest of them because I just don't have the patience for that. So that's what we're talking about today. Super autumnal fall vibe movie. What were your thoughts?
All right, so this is the first movie for Two Chicks and a Horror Flick that I watched with every single one of my children.
Oh, no.
including TT.
Oh, no. Oh, by the way, we should also say right now, there are spoilers ahead. If you don't want
Oh,
this movie spoiled for you, stop now, turn around. But if
yeah.
you're okay with it, keep going. Anyway.
Go watch it and then come back with this. Yeah, for sure. So we all watched this movie. And, okay. So I really like this movie. I wasn't particularly scared, but I laughed. I love Johnny Depp, first of all. And he was Johnny Depp. I loved how over dramatic he was about everything. It was so, not in a bad way, right? It was a very intentional way, and it was hilarious, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the look and feel of it, the gray, dark, gritty. I loved the location. I thought it was beautiful, even though it was really dark. That's what I have here. I loved that whole thing. I loved the characters, like you said. It has a ton of actors in it, and I really liked every single one. It was like as they were dying, I was like, no, like it was. I don't know. There was just something very likable, even with the bad characters. Not bad in bad acting, but like evil characters. I really, really liked it. Yeah, and I just thought so. It didn't scare me. I thought it was fun though. I thought it was fun. It did gross me out, and I have the things that grossed me out. That tree with the heads and the blood. The use of blood in the movie made me feel gaggy, which is good. That's what it was supposed to do. But like especially when the tree opened up, like the noise it made, and then there's heads and blood, and I was like, oh, that's gross.
It was almost like flesh. Like when he pulled off that like piece of bark, it was
It was
like
like
a chunk of
flesh.
skin.
Yeah, so I like that. It was gross, but it was really just like we enjoyed it. And people who are like, "Oh my God, your daughter." So my daughter, TT, has watched all the Jurassic Parks and loves them, and has Jurassic Park posters in her room. Like she has pictures of dinos in her room. And so when we started watching this, I thought, "Is this worse than Jurassic Park?" And I didn't think so. I thought that it was very almost fairy tale caricature. Something else about my little one you should know. I don't know if this is gonna dig myself a deeper grave, but whatever. She plays games with her sisters, like on these. I think they're all Roblox games, but like Peppa Pig is like this demon that tries to kill you, or Slender Man is trying to get you. Like she plays that with her sisters, and she also will sit and watch. There's this YouTube guy. Oh shoot, I don't remember his name. He's funny. And what he does is he watches these animated, scary YouTube videos with his girlfriend, and you see their reaction. She'll watch those with me. So I obviously make sure that she hasn't seen any of the other movies that are really more realistic, I guess,
Right.
is how I would put it. But this one seemed very, I don't know, fairy tale make believe. Like she saw Alice in Wonderland, the one with Johnny Depp. Okay. And where they kill the bat and the basket's head rolls off and stuff. And so anyways, long story short, she was not scared by it. Like she the one thing that she kind of jumped at, and by the way, she was playing a game while she watched it. So it's not like she was watching the movie with us. She was playing a game and would glance up every once in a while. Was in the, I'm talking a lot, sorry, Tawny. One more thing.
You're good.
In the hut where they go to see the witch, which ends up being the main bad woman's sister, she had a veil on. And then when she pulled it off and she was that thing, my daughter jumped and like she looked at her game. And I jumped too, actually. That was, but that was the only time. The rest of it didn't really scare her, and she wasn't really that interested. One last thing I want to tell you, I'm so sorry. My oldest daughter is terrified. I think we talked about this before. Like she screams at everything. Like she's terrified. So she does not watch these movies with me ever. So I said, I will give you $5, which buys, it buys some crafts at Michael's because she's very crafty. I will give you $5 if you watch every single Flick or Treat movie.
Oh my God. Okay.
With us. So she did watch both Scary Stories in the Dark and Sleepy Hollow so far. So, and Sleepy Hollow did not scare her. Like she said as well, it was very almost fairy tale like, but she really liked it though. She loves period pieces and stuff like that.
Okay.
All
Will
right.
you remind me how old your kids are? Like,
Yeah, yes. So TT is almost 7. I said that because she watched Scary Things. So yes, she's 6. 6, almost
Okay.
7. Okay, she's almost 7. And then my middle daughter, she is 15, and then my oldest daughter is 17.
Okay.
And my
Okay.
oldest one is the one that's scared of everything.
That's funny. That seems
And
so backwards. Like,
and they're all almost, like, right? Almost 7, almost 16, almost 18, because they're all born at the beginning of the year. But yeah, doesn't
okay.
it? So anyway,
Funny. Okay. Um,
I said a lot. Sorry, Tawny.
no, that was great. That was good. And that's because I'm gonna shit all over this movie. I actually really hated it.
Oh, damn.
So listen, I also want to say that if you love this movie, I just want to preface this. I'm going to talk mad shit about it. And this is not an assault on you if you liked this movie. I'm not saying anything bad about you. I just did not like this movie. And I'll go into why, but yeah. Cuz I know sometimes it's like, well, ouch. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like that when somebody really rips apart something that I love. I'm like,
Yeah. I did
no.
not love this movie. Like,
Okay.
it was enjoyable, but it didn't
Yeah.
scare me. Like, I enjoyed it for like what it was, like Johnny Depp, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to be hurt is what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm fine.
I didn't think you would be. We've established at this point that we can have different opinions on things and we're cool.
This is
I'm just
crazy
saying,
because I thought you really liked this movie because you specifically picked this movie.
I picked it because I had heard on like a forum somewhere that like it's super autumnal, like it's a really good like autumnal, and like I was like,
What
oh,
does
I
that
want
mean?
like autumn, like
Oh, autumnal. Oh, got it.
I could be saying it wrong also, let me just say that, um but so that's what, like, in the beginning I was like, oh, I really want like a Halloween vibe, like October, like super fall autumnal feel. And so I had just read, I hadn't seen this movie before now, so I just read on a forum somewhere that somebody was like, Sleepy Hollow is a really great like autumnal fall themed movie slash Halloween, all of those things, fall, Halloween, whatever. so many so many problems with this movie. I First of all, I fucking hated Johnny Depp in this movie. I was just like,
Oh, he was Johnny Depp, though. Do you ever like Johnny Depp? Because
I
he's
do.
literally Johnny Depp in every
I
movie,
know.
minus What's Eating Gilbert Grape. He was like kind of not a different Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I feel like, okay, I don't remember a lot about Secret Window. And I watched, and I'm pretty sure that's the movie with
Oh,
him in it, where he's like very serious. And I think I remember really liking that movie, and I think I remember liking Johnny Depp in that movie. And so I
yeah, I
think
don't
he's a
even
really good
remember that.
actor.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can do whatever he like wants to do. He definitely does a good job of like being whatever character he's being in the moment. But sometimes he is exactly what you're saying, Johnny Depp. And I think one of my biggest issues with this movie is just that it is tonally fucking confused. It is all over the goddamn place. Because exactly what you're saying, like it seems like it could be a kids movie in some at
Mm-hmm.
some moments, and then other times you've got like bloody fucking heads. Like, you're watching like people get decapitated left and right. They don't even cut away. They show you like a head coming clean off, and it's like bloody and gory. And
Shit.
I'm like, I liked all of that stuff. Like that, there were some redeeming things. Like I'll get to the things that I liked, but like I liked the goriness, right? Like I liked that part of it. But then you've got Johnny Depp like being this like over the top fucking like theater actor almost. And I just was like, what in the fuck? I hate that. I hate that type of like overacting. It's like, I don't know. That's just how I feel. That's just my personal opinion. My least favorite scene was the scene where he finally sees the Headless Horseman and they come up to him in the bed and he's got the covers pulled up to his face and he's like, "Oh, I saw it," and pulls it back up to his face. He's like, "No, but it was a Headless Horseman," and pulls it. It's just so overacted. I was like rolling my eyes hard constantly. I was just like, fucking come on with
Can I
this.
tell you this? My favorite scene was in his blanket after he's okay, because but here's the thing though. I think this is really interesting to me anyways. We were looking at it from a different point of view. When we
Okay.
started it, I was kind of bored. So what I latched onto was the comedy part of it. So I started going, okay, I think that's kind of funny how he's throwing stuff around, and I think it's funny how he was jotting notes of his thoughts, and it came out to be like, this is the person you should look at, but you don't see that at, like, this is all conspiracy points to Baltus.
Yeah,
But that's not how he thought it out. So for that particular scene, he was like, no, but I saw it. I think, like, and I mentioned it in our last episode, the scary stories to tell in the dark one, but I realized that I'm, because of the podcast, approaching movies in a different way. Where if I would have spent $6 to rent this on a movie night, I would have been really upset.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think I try now when I'm watching it to find something, and I attach to the comedy because I wasn't really into it. So
Interesting. Okay. And I get that. And I just think the comedy that was in this movie is not for me. Like, I don't like that. Like, when he's, like, hacking at the tree and he's like, ugh, like, making, like, dumb faces, getting sprayed in the face with, like, blood. I was just like, I fucking don't like. And I do appreciate dark humor sometimes. It just has to be, like, it has to hit me right. But I did not like that. And so it's weird because it feels like the comedy is designed for children because it's
100%.
like, it's almost slapstick, right? Like, it's like, and I also just think, like, a little bit of this is like, okay, I just didn't see this movie until now. Like, if I had watched this movie when I was like 14 or 15, I'm sure the nostalgia factor would be there. I'd be stoked about this movie, rewatching it, right? But I just didn't watch it until now. So now it just feels like a whole movie of Tim Burton, like, jacking himself off. And I just can't, I'm, like, so irritated about it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, okay, any excuse to take, like, outrageously large steampunk ass glasses and put it on Johnny Depp, like, you better believe your ass.
Yep.
You better bet your ass. You know what I'm saying. You better bet your ass.
Bet your ass that he's going to be wearing those glasses.
Tim Burton is going to do it. He's going to do it. And so, like, I also don't like steampunk. And so that was, like, probably part of the thing. Like, I'm just, like, not a steampunk person. It's just too, like, it's too showy. I don't know. There's something about, like, when it's too much of a put on a show kind of a deal that I can't get on board. And so, like, you know, every once in a while he whips out these, like, weird steampunk, like, gadgets that seem totally out of place to me. I don't know. Maybe it's not. I don't know a lot about steampunk type things, but I just was like,
my daughter mentioned that actually. She's like, what is that thing? How could you even do surgery with that thing? And then because I'm very gullible, you could sell anything to me. I'm like, I don't know, when they were first creating medical tools, like, they didn't know what they were doing. Like, I thought maybe they did have a weird ass thing like that.
that's extremely generous of you. That's not it at all. It's an opportunity for Tim Burton to throw in some dumb Tim Burton shit in there. And listen, it's not that I hate Tim Burton. I have some, Nightmare Before Christmas. I love that movie. Like, Edward Scissorhands, I love that movie. And in fact, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, I fucking love that movie. I love it. And I had forgotten that Tim Burton had done that movie until there was this moment in this movie where, like, the eyes and tongue come out of the face. I think that's with the witch, right? It might be before then.
I think it is actually with the witch, with the eyes and the tongue, yeah.
I think it was the veil. She finally, lifts up the veil and it's like,
Yep.
Okay, listen. When I was a kid, if you've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure, have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you know the whole segment with Large Marge, right?
Yes, I do.
I love that segment, and it scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. Like, and I would actually, like, watch it over and over again to try to be less scared of it. Like, I wanted to desensitize myself to that scene. And so it was funny because when that happened in this movie, I was like, that was some Pee-wee's Big Adventure shit right there. But I forgot that he had also done that movie, so that makes sense. But anyway, that was kind of let's see. I wrote down a lot of notes. Should I just keep shitting on this movie before I get to the...
Yeah, I'm you want me to tell you something that I thought was pretty
Yes.
aesthetically?
Yes, let's take a
Um
break. Let's talk about some positive things.
no, but then let's jump right back into the negative because
Okay.
yeah, I really liked that white church with the red carpet and the red door. Like I'm literally talking about visuals.
Yeah.
Like I thought that was really pretty. And if you listen to the Antichrist episode, I liked how it added very small amount the witchcraft. I like how it showed she was actually a witch, but how beautiful it was, and then how they tortured her and made it dark, and how religion did that. It was like a snippet, but I liked that, and I liked the, and you know what else I liked? Like I really wanted to balance. When okay, so when it was the wife and the husband and the little boy, when the Headless Horseman came and killed his parents, and they cut off his mom's head, and her head rolled, and was her eyes landed within
Through
the
the
cracks in the floor, and you could see her eyes. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that. I will say of all the scenes, that one was the most affecting for me. I kind of didn't give a shit about anybody else in this movie except for that family. Like I was like,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I was so on board with them. I was like, they're so fucking cute and they're like so nice to each other. It's just very cute. So you've got the mom and the dad and the son, and I was just like, I was immediately like, oh god, I hope this guy doesn't die. Like he was the only one that I felt that way about. Like I hope this guy doesn't die. And of course he gets his head chopped off immediately. And then the
You know
woman, I'm
what? I
like,
thought of you with a kid because you
oh
posted on our social media
yes,
about. Okay, go ahead.
yes,
You're gonna
about
say
our
it. Yeah, go.
podcast friends,
Yep.
homies of horror. I listened to one of their episodes, and Erica on that podcast said, "I love it when a horror movie is not afraid to go after kids," and I agree wholeheartedly. And so does Felicia. I checked with her before I posted that
Yes.
just to make sure I wasn't speaking for the both of us out of turn. But I love that too, and so I was like, I was taken aback, and I think that's another one of these moments in this movie where you're just like, "Holy shit, they killed the kid!" Like,
Yeah.
obviously it's off screen, but like, god damn, that's dark. The whole family got cut down. Like, jeez, you know?
I thought he was gonna live. Like I thought something was gonna happen.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna also be like, oh, I thought they were gonna allude to the fact that he killed the kid, but he didn't. Actually, I have a little tidbit about that. Let me go ahead and talk about it while it's relevant. Um, Okay, Tim Burton stated in the DVD commentary that he dislikes it when children are always spared from danger in horror movies, which is not the case in this movie. One victim is beheaded while in its mother's womb, also total separate
Oh yeah.
thing, and a young boy is dragged out of the cellar by the horsemen and then beheaded. So like that scene I really liked also. It was very nerve-wracking. I loved those people. I didn't want them to die of all the people in the movie, and then I was shocked that they killed the kid. And it's like that was one of those very serious moments in this movie where I was like, I like this.
Yeah, I said that to my daughter. I went, "Oh my god, did they kill the kid?" Because he just kind of the Headless Horseman just has his bag of heads, and he looks satisfied. The way, well, his body language looks satisfied. So it's very alluded to that he did, in fact, kill the whole family. He looks like he's satisfied. And
He's
she's like,
complete.
yes, 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 yes. And my daughter was like, "Oh my god, I think so." Yeah.
Hmm.
Because, I think that it's such a taboo thing, but not in real life, right? Not in real life, unfortunately. And so when movies actually go there, I think there's that adds that realness to it, where in real life that would in fact be the case. So,
Right. It's
yeah.
it's it's a little extra scary. I
Yeah.
agree totally that like visually this movie is great. It's super stylized, which I don't hate stylized movies in general. I think it's like really pretty. It's got a whole look, right? It's definitely got the Tim Burton look. Like I liked that part of it. And I do think the visuals in some of the instances were like phenomenally good. I love that scene at the end where it's like his mom is in the like torture thing.
Mm.
I don't know what to call it. I forget. Is it called the Iron Maiden? Is that what it
Iron
is?
Maiden. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I just pulled that straight out of the back of my brain.
I'm
Okay.
impressed, dude.
And you see her eyes open
Oh,
through the window. I was like, oh, this is so creepy. It's
because
giving me
that shit's
chills.
real too. That is all real. Like that stuff happened to normal human beings,
Everyday people, yeah.
everyday people. Yeah.
And then it opens and there's like a blood, like, I don't even know what to call it, but there's just like,
Gush,
yeah, gush.
gush.
It's like a flood of blood
It's like
out
a
of that.
tsunami.
Yeah, yeah. I guess a tsunami would, I mean, to
Well,
be
that's
technical,
a little extreme. Yeah. Okay.
it'd
Sorry.
be spinning. Anyway,
Yeah.
I know I'm splitting hairs.
A tsunami would not be spinning.
It's a flash flood. It's a flash flood.
Yes. But let's just be clear. The tsunami comes from the ocean and goes like that. It's not a hurricane.
Oh, okay. My bad. So maybe it is. Obviously, I've never lived near the coast.
How about the what's that phobia we talked about with the holes, which I hate and I definitely have?
Shit, I don't remember.
Tryptophobia?
Tryptophobia, maybe?
Well, when he had his hands with all the dots,
Yeah.
me and my daughter both were like, oh God, I really
Okay.
didn't like that. But then when we found out why he got him, that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I liked that tie-in too. Like, I liked like I liked the plot of this movie, right? Like, it's a classic. You got the Headless Horseman. It's great. That stuff's all great. And again, just the visuals were stunning. And I loved the gory parts. If they had just cut the like comedic parts out of this movie, I bet I'd be like, I would be significantly more on board, I think.
I think I would have been more on board too if it wasn't. So I know I said that I attached to the comedic parts because starting it, I felt bored.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to, okay, I'm going to watch this movie. So I'm going to enjoy the silliness of it. Okay, and that's how I'm going to watch it. But I think it would have been really cool if they didn't do that and they went to the just like really dark and scary, because I'm going to tell you guys, if this isn't a review, I don't know what is. My 6-year-old said, oh, I love that Headless Horseman. Okay? Legitimately.
They're old pals. They know. They know each other.
Oh, I love that Headless Horseman. Him with his horse, with the jack-o'-lantern. I know that was like the guy but like she wasn't fazed by this movie. That one witch that lifted her veil and did the startled her. Other than that, she wasn't
Could do
fazed.
without. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those fucking heads in the tree, dude. I was like, oh, that's gross, and I like that.
Oh, yeah. I don't think she saw that, actually, because I remember I went, oh, my gosh, and she, like, glanced up and then glanced down. At that point, she was playing her game, but, yeah, that grossed me out.
Yeah, and watching people's heads get just totally, like, lopped off, like, over and over again, I liked that. It was very gory.
Yeah.
When that guy gets impaled in the church with that, like, it must be, like, a post or something, and he's like... I mean, I just will always like something like that. Like anytime somebody gets impaled like that, I like it. And so it's all bloody and he gets ripped out of the window. Like I was just like, whoa. And then he like drags him just far enough to be able to cut off his head beyond like, I loved that part. Like it's so, but again, it's just totally all over the place. It's like you balance that and you've got like, one of my what the fuck moments was like, okay, for like one of my other big problems with this movie overall is the fucking weird, stupid love story between Johnny Depp and Christina Ricci. I was like,
I'm so glad you said that because when he said that they were in love, I was like, you were?
when?
Yeah, when?
What happened?
Thank you. Yes, you were in love, and at one point, I was going to give you my heart. Really? At what point? Like, when did this happen?
It's been like 2 days. It's been like 2 days.
Yeah, he did not seem in love at all. Like, she seemed maybe a little, like, I don't even want to say starry-eyed. She seemed like...
Intrigued.
Intrigued. Oh, beautiful word. Intrigued. Not in love. Not like, even though she was doing the evil eye for protection, like, I just saw she was protecting him. I totally agree with that. Like that just, if they wanted them to be in love, there needed to be more heat, more steam, more like moments of like, ooh, I like you. The comical interactions between them, it didn't seem like love.
No. And so one of the moments that I wrote down that I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Is like at the very end, well, it's like closer to the end, where she seems like she's dead. First of all, I was like, oh, she dead? She just died? She's like laying in the bed. And he's like, I'm leaving. And he goes to like look at his notebook and opens it up and he's got fucking doodles of her. I'm like, first of all, when the fuck did you find time to do this? Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, what a weird, childish part of this movie. I just was like, what am I watching, dude? Like, this is like something that a 7-year-old would do when they want to have like a girlfriend. Like it just, I was just like, what? Like, that part was so
Tawny,
weird.
I swear to God, when we actually get to watch a movie together, we need to rent a movie theater. And we need to bring like our husbands and we sit down and watch a movie together because we would have had the exact same fucking reactions.
Probably.
100%. Me and my daughter were literally, I said, is she dead? Oh, she's dead. Because he said this, he said a line. He said a line that something like, you were possessed by a demon and now hopefully you're at peace or something. And my daughter goes, no, I don't think she's dead. And I'm like, oh yeah, she's dead. And then he goes outside and he's like, you'll think that the girl did it and she's a nice witch. And he's like, you'll never know, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh no, honey, she's dead. Yeah, she's dead. Oh shit, she's dead. And he's burning that book. And then when he brought out her mother's book and thought of burning it, my daughter was like, motherfucker, you can't burn that book. It's not even your book. You need to, and then I said, you need to go put that on her dead body. She needs to be buried with that book from her mother, right? All of a sudden she opened her eyes. I'm like, oh shit, that answers that. She's not dead.
Not dead. Yeah, I had to rewind it to be like, what the fuck? I was like, did I miss something? Is she dead? Like, no. Oh my God. Yeah, that love story, dumb. They had like literally 2 interactions. He walked into town, she kissed him on the cheek blindfolded, and then they were like, oh, we're in love now. Like, and then she like followed him out into the forest. That was it. It was just like, oh, now my husband died actually, and I don't give a shit because I am in love with you.
Yes.
Isn't that terrible? I'm like, no. We did not need this dumb love story. I hated that part.
Yeah, that was dumb.
The other thing that I was like, while we're on the subject of her, and this is not just her, but like, I'm going to start it here.
I know what you're going to say. I feel in my heart. Go.
She fucking fainted. Okay, listen, and I'll give it a little grace. She fainted when her dad got his head cut off, but like didn't faint at any other point in this. Like, she watched like dead heads roll out of a tree that is supposedly supposed to lead to hell. Like, I was just like, okay, now you choose this is the time to faint? Like, okay, maybe it was because of her dad. But also, let me just say, I've never seen more fainting in a movie ever in my life. And I actually read, let's see. Oh, I thought I took it down as a note, but I didn't. Oh, no, I did. Check this out. Ichabod Crane faints a total of 5 times during this movie. He is induced into unconsciousness by Katrina's medicine after his violent meeting with the horseman. Katrina, by comparison, faints twice. Okay, so she faints twice. But I was like, 9 fucking faints in this movie? Why? What kind of, that's all you have. You're just like out of your bag of tricks. You're like, well, what happens next? Oh, I don't know, they faint. I just was like, what the fuck? Okay, sorry, keep going.
No. Well, like, did he make him faint because he thought it was funny? I totally agree. And I thought
Is that what you thought I was going to say?
I thought Tawny was going to talk a lot even more. And so I ate a blue cheese stuffed olive. So I apologize to our listeners. But here, I'm back. So what I was going to add on to what you said is I was so irritated with how really weak she was. Like, there was no strength. I know there's all kinds of women, right? You have like Wonder Woman women who come and like, and you have, how she fainted, when she saw her dad. Like, okay. But what really punched me in the gut was when you were in a fight for your life at the end. You have your stepmom, right? And she is like, is fighting with Johnny Depp. And like, then that boy comes to the rescue and hits the woman on the head. Thank goodness, right? And the horseman is coming. And literally, what is Christina Ricci's character doing? You can't see me if you're listening to it, but she's going like, oh my, look at all of this, right? Then he comes up to her and grabs her head. She doesn't even fight. Okay, I don't care what kind of a woman you are. I don't care what kind of a woman you are. If someone grabs your hair and pulls your head back, she literally just looked at him like, oh goodness, you are taking my life. Like,
Please
I wanted him. Yeah, please. Oh. She didn't even move her arms. She didn't even say ouch. Like, she didn't even go, ow. Like, she literally, her head went back and she gazed up at him. Oh, goodness. That was just like, take her head. Just take her head.
Take her.
Let the stepmom live, because at least she's, you know, kind of badass. Like, she's thriving.
She's got kind of a personality. Like, Christina Ricci's character, I don't even fucking remember. Katrina's her name. Katrina. Like, she doesn't even have really a personality. Like, I totally agree. It's like, and also, there's like this moment, I forgot about the whole fucking windmill scene until you just said that. But like, yeah, she like unveils her whole situation. The like, you know, witch lady. She's like, oh, I'm gonna fucking, blah, blah, blah. And then they just let that bitch waltz the fuck out of there. I was like, you're not even gonna say anything, Katrina? You're not even gonna be like, stop her. Nothing. You're just gonna be like, oh, hey, everybody. I just thought, like, what the fuck is happening?
Yes. To add on to that, though, what I thought was good was Johnny Depp's character, Ichabod Crane, was like, run to the roof. And they all got to the roof, and I went, well, that's stupid. And then they all jumped on the windmills, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then my daughter goes, oh, yeah, I guess that was smart.
Okay, we'll give it to him.
Pretty good idea.
We'll give it to him. While we're on this note, one of the other things that I took down as a note was like, okay, this is like very minor. I'm sure nobody else in the world ever even picked up on this, but I feel I must say it. For just about a half of a second, that witch lady, the stepmom, whatever her name was, I was like, does this bitch have a Boston accent? Like, what is happening? I don't know if you picked up on that, but like,
I didn't.
As soon as she like woke up and she was in that windmill area, she was like talking with a Boston accent, and I made Jade listen to it because he didn't watch the movie with me, and he was like, that sounds kind of normal. But then like literally 2 seconds later, she's talking like normal again, and I meant to look up for this if she had a Boston accent, and like it just peeked through a little bit. But anyway, because he was like, oh, that's weird. But anyway, I was like, what is happening here? Like, there just was like time after time that I was just like, what? Like, what is...
I did like when the Headless Horseman, which was Christopher Walken, picked her up, put her and kissed her bitter. That was gross. Like, I felt like yuck. Like, it was gross. And then he like took her into the tree, and I thought, ooh, that sucks. But yeah, I mean, I thought that was gross. I know.
I thought it was gross, but I also was sort of like, okay, but what the fuck, right? Like, I still was like, I don't get it. Like, what is he doing? And why?
He likes her. He thinks she's cute.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I guess I get that. He's like, come on with me into my home.
Come with
me, into
yeah.
hell. So, okay, the last thing that I'll say is I don't understand why for so much of this movie, I was like, quit shooting at this fucking ghost, everybody. Obviously, it's not working, okay? Everybody seems to be on board with the fact that it's a fucking ghost, but everybody just keeps shooting at it. I'm like, okay. I mean, I guess I get also. Let me just give some grace here. I don't know what else you'd do, but like, come up with something.
To slow it down. Yeah, come up with. I have to agree with you, Tawny. At the end, every time the Headless Horseman got back up, I felt like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like, I knew he was going to get back up. I knew that. But it wasn't like, oh my God, he's coming back. Like, that excitement. It was more like, okay, what's going to finally do it? Oh, but something I did like, and maybe you can talk more about it, and doing what you do and your knowledge. At the end, when he put his head on, and it started to recreate his actual human head, I thought that looked really cool because it didn't look digital, but it didn't look real.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think it looked hokey. There was something about it, and my daughter agreed. It was like, it didn't look digital. Obviously, it was something like that, but it looked, but it obviously didn't look real. I thought that was pretty cool how it was, and stuff.
I liked it too. I thought it held up very fucking well, actually, for being like, what, 20? Is that right? 20? 1999? Yeah. For whatever reason in my brain, the 2000s don't exist. So when I think about 1999, I think that was 10 years ago, but it's not. It's 20 years
20
ago.
years ago, oh my gosh. Yeah, I
But
thought that
yeah,
looked good.
it did look good. I liked it
Yeah.
actually. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
for like a digital effect, it aged well, I think. I thought.
Yeah.
I didn't take this down as a note, and maybe I should have. But I think what happened, I thought this was an interesting note. The same people who did Mars Attacks, the graphics for that movie, I think did it for this movie.
Mm.
And they yeah, I liked that part. I thought it looked cool. Because I agree totally. Like it wasn't like it was trying to look too real, because that's I think where you can run into issues. But it also didn't look too cartoony. Whereas like the
Yeah.
eyes popping out, like I think that's like obviously cartoony and that
Beetlejuice-esque
right.
sort of cartoony. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
I wouldn't even say Beetlejuice is all fucking I think claymation, right? Like it's all
Yeah. Oh,
stop
yeah,
motion stuff.
yeah.
So that's practical, right? Like that looks fucking great
Yeah.
still. But like, the CGI like eyes popping like didn't look so good, but yeah, I liked that part a lot. It was gruesome. You
Yeah, it
you
was
have to say
gruesome. It
that.
looked painful,
Mhm.
whatever he was going through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know my daughter, she's really, I haven't watched a horror movie with her really, because like I mentioned, she doesn't like them. But she kept saying, um, I, and I don't know, I didn't note it down, but she kept saying, well, that wouldn't happen. Well, the wind is blowing that way, not that way. Well, that. She kept like pointing out these little things
Yeah.
that, well, oh, come on, obviously, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, she's picking up on all of that. I'm just watching it.
Yeah, like you said, I think it was I can't remember what episode, but you were like, I'm the like movie creator's dream because I'll just like take whatever you give me. Like you
Yeah.
totally are. You're like steampunk, dumb, wired up like instruments? Sure.
Okay, you're trying to make me laugh.
Okay. I'm
Laugh
in for
with
that.
some gore. I'm in for it. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I did. But I can say I wasn't excited. I thought the movie trailer was pretty boring. Like because I watched the
Oh, I
movie
didn't even
trailer
watch that.
and went, oh, okay, I have to watch that tomorrow.
Mm.
And so then when it came on, I want to find something I like about it. But again, if there was no podcast, what a dark day that would be. But and I was renting this movie to watch with my family, I would have been disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, I just overall fucking really did not like this. Is it worth I'm sorry for shitting on it, everybody. Is it worth a watch? Like maybe. Is it like in a way like a kind of nice family film? Like yeah, I think so. Like if I had like I said, if I had watched this when I was like 14 or 15 or something, I think I would love to go back and rewatch it every year. But like it didn't have the nostalgia factor for me, so I was like fucking over it. Also, this movie for whatever reason had like more fucking tidbits than any other movie I've ever looked up in my life on IMDb, which again, just for some reason made me hate it even more in like this weird way where I was just like this movie is dripping with like you know what I mean? Pretension. Like it's just like, oh, everybody's like just gonna talk. Like one of the tidbits, I didn't write this down, but it was something to the effect of like, because they built that. Let me give you one of my tidbits. Roughly 75% of this movie was shot on sound stages. So like
Oh, okay.
they built like most of what you see. And people were like, when we walked through the little village, it was like walking around inside Tim Burton's brain. And I'm like whatever. Like that was just like annoying. So there was like so many fucking notes. So I only pulled out a handful of them that I felt like were really neat. But I don't know, I'm ruminating on this because I'm apologizing. If you watch this, like by all means enjoy this movie. Like like my movie is Hocus Pocus. I fucking love that movie.
Hmm.
I will be watching that here shortly. Probably not only one time for the month of October. I fucking love that movie. Have you seen it?
Yeah, yes, I have. I love
Do
it.
you like it or are you like
I
what the fuck?
No, I love it, and I love all the actresses in it, and yeah, that's a great one.
I'll argue until the cows come home that is a fantastic fucking movie. But I recognize that if I didn't see that as a kid and I watched that as an adult now, I would be like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. The
Mm.
acting is rough as fuck. Not from the Winifred sisters. Like I feel like they're all pretty good, but like the boy, Thackeray Binks, he's the girl, like they're just
Haven't watched it in a while, so I'm gonna have to watch it. I'll watch it with my kids. If my 6-year-old watch Sleepy Hollow, can
oh
they watch it?
yeah, hell
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
This is way more tame than that, yeah. But I fucking love that movie. I will watch that movie so many times. And so I'm just saying, I'm leaving room. Like, if you love this movie, good for you. Keep loving it. Ignore everything I just said. And now I'm going to give you some tidbits. um, I already gave you like a handful of them. There's apparently only one cardinal bird in all of England where the movie was shot, and they weren't allowed to use it. So they tried to pass off a dyed pigeon that they dyed red and sort of like scruffed up its feathers, which was ridiculous, Tim Burton said. The hardest thing on the whole film was to get a cardinal, hence the wonderfully fake cardinal, which I love actually. So I thought to myself, when he goes to reach in and grab it, I thought, like, is that fake? I should have rewound it and looked again, but I didn't. But I thought that was interesting.
Where did he get that cardinal? I don't even remember that part. I
It
do
was
remember
like
his little toy his little thing he used all the time with a cardinal.
it was in the very beginning before he left. So he
Oh.
had it as a pet and he like set it
Oh
free.
shit.
You remember that?
I don't even remember that.
Okay. It was very early.
I do remember when the witch cut off the bat's head though. That was gross.
Mm-hmm.
And then my daughter, by the like middle end of it, she's like, there's so much animal cruelty in this. They cut off the crow's foot, they cut off the bat's head, they cut up they're like just chopping up animals left and right.
Yeah, that horse got like pretty fucked up. I
The
read
horse, yeah.
in the stuff that like some of the horse stuff was was like an animatronic horse though. So
not like real animal cruelty, just like they mutilated a lot of animals, not real animals, but that was the subject of it.
in the plot of the film.
In
Yeah.
the plot of the film, yes.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. I already told you the fainting one. Okay, here's listen, also, I kind of cherry picked these because I didn't like this movie. You should know that. If you love this movie, go read the other ones. They're great. There's a lot of them. Johnny Depp has never seen the film because he hates the way he acts in it. So there you go. Johnny Depp agrees with me.
Shit.
Wow.
Wow, that's solid right there.
I had to put that one down.
That is so good.
Just to back myself up, that's all. Okay, the next one says the first script had to have some of its violence toned down. Even so, it's one of Tim Burton's goriest films, which kind of was
really?
surprising. But I can't think of any other movie I've seen of his that's more gory. So
That's more
that makes
gory than
sense.
that. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Interesting. And the last one that I have is kind of long, but it's about like the actual story. So the idea of the Headless Horseman actually dates back to the Middle Ages in Europe, largely in Celtic and German folklore. While Washington Irving's horsemen can be considered the most famous, most areas of the United States during the time of the story's publishing had their own stories of headless horsemen. Men.
Oh.
Irving's is said to be inspired by the headless body of a Hessian Jaegers, which in parentheses it says renowned sharpshooter and horseman, who was found in Sleepy Hollow. The real Van Tassels buried him in Old Dutch burying ground in an unmarked grave.
Ooh, that's interesting that there's real Van Tassels and a real Headless Horseman person.
Yeah, I think even the characters of Ichabod Crane and Katrina are based on real people.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I should have taken down more notes, but I didn't.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that. I thought it was purely fairy tale.
Yeah. I mean, I think the original, well, from the folklore probably is, right? But then it gets trickled down to Washington Irving's version. But yeah. Did you have any other thoughts before we rate this bad boy?
I don't. I'm looking at my notes and I told you all that I have to say.
Okay, what would you give this?
So I thought about this a lot. I even went back and looked at what I rated other things.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say that I'm between, okay, I'll just put it out there so I'm not just like silent. I go back and forth between a 3 and a 3.5, only because I'm going to say 3. Boom, just because I said that. At first when I was watching it, I was like, oh, I have to think of this in a different way. It's not scaring me, but it's funny. So I kind of put it up against Tucker and Dale versus Evil, right? Which is a comedy. So I bucketed it into a comedy, which I liked Tucker and Dale way more.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't find myself hating it. That's what I reserve my really lower scores for. So I
Right.
would say a 3.
Okay.
No, shit. Yeah.
Are you wavering?
I'm trying to think of it against the last movie we rated, which is Scary Stories in the Dark. So that's
Okay.
where I'm trying to put it. Did I like it a little more or did I like it less than that? And they're so different.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say 3. It's a 3. There.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I also thought long and hard about this, and I wavered between a 1 and a 2. I almost considered having this be my first one because
Oh
I
wow.
disliked that much of it. Like, there were parts that I liked. Again, just to recap so I don't sound like such an asshole. There were like, the visuals were great, okay? Johnny Depp's face is great, okay? It was like a whole look. I liked that. There were some scary moments. The gore, loved that shit. It was brutal. There were like moments in this movie where I was like, fuck yeah, love that clip. And so I've decided on a 2 because I didn't
Okay.
love this, but I also think like other people out there like it. It's such an unpopular opinion, dude. I looked at like reviews from people. It's like pretty widely loved. So
Oh
my 2
wow.
cents is it's an unpopular. I think it was like 91% of Google users liked this movie, and I think the thermometer is like 70% or something. Like,
Oh wow.
it's
Okay.
people like this movie. So I recognize that I'm in the minority group of people who didn't like this movie, and if you watch it like as a family, like you did with some kids that are like a little bit younger, I feel like that's the perfect scenario, right?
It's the perfect introduction to horror for your little ones.
Yes, maybe a little more gory than
Yeah.
what you would think,
I don't know. My
but
daughter loves Jurassic Park. And
yeah.
by the way, when she saw my shirt, she went, "Oh my God, I love him. Michael Myers." She has not seen Halloween. She says that because I love him. But
Right. Yeah.
it is gore. Like, oh my God, there's going to be parents that are like, "Are you kidding me? These women should not have children." Well, for all of you that feel that way, Tawny is terrified of pregnancy, so I'm just kidding. We are going to be bringing some horror-loving children into this world, but
That's true. That's very true. That's one of
no,
my
but it is. It's very because if you think about it, fairy tales are dark. Even
yeah.
those little nursery rhymes.
Yes.
Me and my daughter, who watched this movie with me, my oldest daughter, we were, looking up nursery rhymes at one point. It was for some reason, and I don't remember why. Maybe my little one was reading the Peter Peter pumpkin eater had a wife and couldn't keep her, put her in a pumpkin shell, and I went, oh my God, he like kept her like as a prisoner. So we Googled
Ugh.
the nursery rhymes and we were talking about how dark they are. And fairy tales are dark too. The Disney versions of them actually are very uplifting if you read the actual original version of, say, The Little Mermaid or Cinderella. They're very dark.
Yeah, like the
And
Hunchback of
that's,
Notre Dame. Like,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't remember the exact specifics, but I remember reading about that and being like, oh God,
Yeah. So this very much felt like
that.
a dark fairy tale. Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. I also liked the fantastical like element of it, and I will say that I also liked in the original story. Ichabod Crane is like a school teacher. He's not like a
Yeah.
constable that gets like sent
That's
from
right.
somewhere else. So that part they did like change for the movie, and I liked it. I liked the setup of, even though it's like a fucking tale as old as time, I still liked the idea that he's like a logic man who comes into this town where he's like, oh no, we're gonna find the killer, I'm a detective, and then he like runs into this like supernatural thing that he can't explain. I liked that, even though it's like done to death. So I will give it that, and I liked the fairy tale feeling of this movie.
Yeah, I thought it was funny how when he dug up the dead body of the woman and he went in and realized that the baby was headless. So, okay, first of all, that was alluded to, right? Because I thought
Oh
maybe
yeah.
that baby was, but he didn't say it. He didn't straight out say it. Okay, I didn't miss anything. So when he comes out and he's covered in blood and everyone's like, what did you do to her? Like, that made me laugh. It was like those little, not like hilarious Wedding Crashers laugh, but enough to
Yeah.
keep me watching the movie.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think I would watch it again though.
Yeah, I'm not going to either. Even though
Yeah.
it was like, it definitely hit the autumnal feel that like I want for movies that we're watching this month. I wouldn't watch it again because I
Yeah,
just
I
didn't.
really don't want to. I saw it and I'm good.
That was enough one time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 2 out of 5 for me. And
3. I'll stick with a 3.
okay. And what else do we have?
So, all right, that's Sleepy Hollow. So what we'll tell you is next coming up, what we're going to be watching is Creep Show. And there's probably multiple Creep Shows. And the Creep Show we are going to be watching is from 1982. And the cool thing about Creep Show, or this next episode we're watching, is it was a fan pick. So on our Instagram, on our private Facebook group, we had put out, hey, we want you to pick 2 of the movies we're going to be watching in October for Flick or Treat. And so we had a poll out there, and Creep Show was actually the top. It was the top rated pick of all of the fans. So it's a fan pick, and we're excited about that. And then Tawny's going to tell you something that, oh my God, I'm so excited about.
Yes. Have you seen Creep Show?
I haven't. Well, wait, that, when I see that, okay, was Creep Show, and please forgive me, this was like a series, right? I feel
so
like I was young and I would see this reoccurring series with that zombie guy.
I should Google it. I'm going to look it up real quick just so that I don't misspeak here. But you're thinking of Tales from the Crypt, probably. Right?
That's what I'm thinking of. Sorry, yes. So when my mom was really young when she had me, and and so I watched horror shows right along with her, and I remember it was Tales from the Crypt. You're right. Sorry. Yep.
No, you're fine. I also watched Tales from the Crypt.
I haven't seen Creep Show because I was thinking Tales from the Crypt was that.
Okay, and I thought that maybe Creep Show had something to do with Tales from the Crypt, but I am quickly
looking. The guy looks the same.
Yeah, I'm quickly looking through the Wikipedia, and here we go. The film is an homage to the EC horror comics of the 1950s, such as Tales from the Crypt. So, at the very least, it's kind of calling back to the Tales from the Crypt comics.
That's why I thought maybe I saw, but no, I haven't seen this movie.
Okay, me either. So that'll be
That'll be fun. That was a great conversation. I'm glad we're on the same page. You have a little lower of a rating than I do, but I really was trying to, find something. But anyway, so remember, check out our Patreon. Check out the different things that we have on the different tiers. It's a lot of fun, and we're super excited about it.
Yes.
And also, private Facebook group. We interact with that private Facebook group, the private Facebook group daily, and love our people in there. Also, you can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. You could go to our website. Everywhere you go, it's 2 chicks and a horror flick. The only place that's different is if you're a Twitter tweeter. If you love the Twitter, it's going to be 2 chicks AF.
HF.
I liked AF. You're
2
right.
chicks as fuck.
2 chicks as fuck. Sorry. It's 2 chicks HF. Because our name is way too long.
Yeah. So find us there.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see you next week. And we hope that you're having a super spooky October with us with Flick or Treat. And don't forget to have a good night and have no nightmares.